This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I would like to call the Plan Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 2nd to order. Roll call, please.
Mary Kodowski.
Here.
Jim Allen.
Present.
Jake Krieger.
Here.
Steve Kabacki.
Here.
Mike Skippington.
Here.
Corey Campbell.
Here.
And Gary Paul.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember all the men and women throughout the world in uniform. I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 5A, action on the Plan Commission minutes from the regular meeting, October 5th, 2021.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve those meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, comments from the public must be limited to items not on the agenda. State your name and address, limited to 5 minutes. The board's role is to listen and not discuss the item. Personnel items cannot be discussed nor individuals named. The board is not able to take action at this meeting. Is there anybody who would like to say anything about items not on the agenda? Okay, moving on. 7, action item 7A, action regarding a requested PUD amendment for Alden Station parcels VA-1555, VA-1556, and VA-1557. Aaron.
Right. The requested PUD amendment, as indicated in the staff report, is to increase the allowable height of the subject parcels for construction of the condominium buildings at Alden Station. Under our height ordinance, we allow in this area up to 60 feet in height from grade by right. The request is to allow for an increase in height up to 65 feet in height. What that will do is it'll accommodate the architectural detail that you can see right here on the first condominium that will be constructed at the southeast corner of the Alden Station development, right at the confluence of Ashwaubenon Creek and the Fox River. So as you can see here, the condominium, this did go through site plan review. There will be first floor parking right here, basically at grade, with 1, 2, 3, 4 floors of condominiums above that. If you have any questions regarding the requested PUD amendment, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, what are the architectural features that are so critical?
It's this part right here, the vaulted roof for the top floor.
Aaron, is that usable space?
Usable in term, it is part of the condo itself. It's the ceiling.
The condo itself? Okay.
Correct.
All right. At site plan, we asked the question, does this have to be approved by the airport zoning? But I guess you said.
They do need the permit from the airport.
Okay. No.
Yeah. That was part of the condition of approval for the site plan itself.
Okay. Okay. Site plan, we had no problem with this, so there's no other questions. I'll move the request to PUD amendment to Aaron's station, Alden Station.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the requested PUD amendment for Alden Station. Any more discussion?
This is kind of a minor modification. It's, it's less than 10%, and at that location, it makes sense.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 7B, action regarding a rezoning request from B2 general business to R2 two-family residence. Parcels VA-228-20-7, VA-228-20-5, and VA-228-20-6, 2300 Ridge Road. Aaron.
Right, as indicated on the rezoning map, the request is for the 3 parcels indicated at the corner of Bel Air Court and South Ridge Road. The 3 parcels are currently vacant, have been vacant for a number of years, are currently zoned B2 general business. The applicant has had these parcels on the market for, again, a number of years for commercial use. Hasn't really had any takers on it over the years. He's requesting to rezone them to R2, 2-family residence for the construction of 3 duplexes, 1 on each of the lots. So there'll be 2 having access off of Bel Air Court and a 3rd having access off of South Ridge Road. As you can see in the map itself, there is R3 multifamily residence to the south, B2 across the street, so to the east and to the north, and then R1 along Hawk Street to the west. In terms of zoning consistency, it does provide a little less intensive use backing up to the R1 as opposed to what the B2 general business zoning would allow. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. Otherwise, Mr. Mike Muscala, the owner, is also in the audience.
Okay, any questions, comments?
I think it's a good plan here. I know that property's been on the market. I've switched signs there a number of times, and I believe I've done work for Mr. Muscala out there a long time ago, so it's time to do something with that property. I'm not a big fan of spot zoning, but this here fits the neighborhood quite well, I think. The duplexes will butt up to the R1s and the R3s, and I think that's not a problem at all, so I don't have a problem with it.
One question I'd have, Aaron, more probably from an education standpoint, why R2 and not R3?
So under R3, they could by right then put in apartments. So R2 is it's a less intensive zoning district.
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
There, with the all that R1 that's behind it to the west, I think R2 is a better zoning option for
Yeah,
that,
for sure. If it could be apartments, then yeah, I want that.
so.
This seems to make sense from a transitional perspective, and it's been for sale for quite some time. And you've got the R3 and you've got the B2, and it makes sense. And with that, unless there's any further discussion, I'd make a motion to approve as presented.
And I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the rezoning for the property at 2300 South Ridge Road. Any other discussion, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
This will then go to Village Board for final approval at the end of the month.
Okay, 7C, action regarding requested PUD amendment for wall signage at 2465 Marina Circle, office parcel VA-1404. Aaron.
This is for the new office building on Marina Circle. You may recall, probably about a year and a half ago or so, there was a request for LED billboard type signage on the building. That was not approved by the village. They have come back with wall signage that, as you can see, it is set up static signage, so non-motion. With the shield, this would be on the south side, and then RBC Wealth Management and Fincantieri Marine Group would be on the east and west sides. So as you head eastbound or westbound on 172, you could see both Fincantieri Marine Group and RBC Wealth Management. I did speak with the owner of Mansell Flats Apartment. He is in support of the proposed signage. And for reference purposes, because this is larger than we typically allow at 60 square feet, the Merrill Lynch building that is also near the property just to the west has approximately 168 square feet. The largest signage here is 144.89 square feet for RBC Wealth Management. So it's below kind of what has been approved in the past. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, the ownership group for the building is also in the audience.
I know I noticed the Merrill Lynch, and it's like the exact same signage as this on the other building, so I don't have any issue with it. I think it's fine. So, are those the only two tenants in that building?
I guess I'd probably defer to Mark, if you would mind. Yes. Oh, that's fine. Yep, that's it.
The only problem we had is site plan. It's a great improvement from what it was a year ago. We did evaluate it versus the other building to the west there, and it'll fit in real nice. The only question we had, excuse me, the Mansell Flats, the only thing I brought up is the lighting on the sign on the south wall there, just the logo. In the event a tenant has a problem, which we hope they don't, is there something with the lighting that could be dimmed to maximize the disturbance that somebody may have, but still be visible to what they're trying to achieve here? And they did say they would look into that if there was a complaint. It's only an if thing, but I did want to bring that up, that if a tenant does come in and complain, even though the management is fine with it, it's something that we can look at. So other than that, I think it's a good job putting this together. So there's no other questions. I'll move to approve as presented.
The second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve as presented the wall signage for 2465 Marina Circle Office, parcel VA-1404. Any other discussion, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
So this then, as a PUD amendment, will also go to village board at the end of the month for final approval. Thank you.
7D, action regarding a requested three-lot certified survey map for parcel VA-1594, 469 Alden Circle, Outlot 5. Aaron.
This is a little different than your typical certified survey map where you might see square lots. This CSM is a result of the Alden Station development, Outlot 5. It's that string bean that you see along there, along the map. The proposal is to split that up into 3 separate outlots. Outlots meaning that they can't be built upon for a home or anything, any kind of structure. The reason for the request to split that up is to create what are called riparian rights for purposes of installing a dock to the benefit of the Homeowners Association of Alden Station. The village wanted to make sure we maintained ownership of Outlot 7, so right here on the bend, to make sure that we have access or connection for the pedestrian bridge across Ashwaubenon Creek to Ashwaubenon Park. And then also Outlot 6 right here for purposes of future development of Lot 1 to the north of that. As part of the approval, a couple conditions are recommended, including adding a note to the CSM stating a 15-foot wide public access easement on Outlot 5 will be recorded for purposes of a public trail following final survey, grading, and paving of the trail. Any grading, cutting, or filling within the floodplain requires a permit from the Village of Ashwaubenon and then approval by the Brown County Planning Commission. So again, this really has no impact at all on the trail development, public access, things like that, but it's meant to, again, provide riparian rights for purposes of that dock. The village will have no responsibility for that dock. That's strictly the homeowners associations.
Will we have approval of that dock when it is designed and scheduled to be put in?
Haven't really thought about it, primarily because it's a DNR process as far as getting approval for the dock. You know, we probably, I'm not sure under what ordinance we'd review it.
Okay.
So it's,
I'm just wondering with the trail there and the bridge and everything else,
Right.
how that all fits together. That's all.
yeah, we
No big
certainly will be in close contact with Redo as they do anything in that area. We have a good working relationship with them, and I'm pretty confident we'll be able to work through any issues that might pop up.
Just one other question. Is that 15 feet wide enough as an easement?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. I talked with Doug Martin on that, and yeah, 12 feet is typical. 15 feet gives us more than enough room to work with.
Okay, thank you.
So who's maintaining this Parcel property then, from a lawn cutting standpoint, from snow and all the other wonderful stuff that could come up?
So if you talk about the trail itself, the trail is the village's. So as far as snow removal, that's a village policy decision. In terms of cutting, landscaping, things like that, on Outlot 5, that would be the homeowners association.
Okay,
Outlot 7 and Outlot 6 would still be the village.
which could make it kind of problematic to go and cut them, since it's just this little strip and that little strip. I'm just wondering, should we be putting something in here that the homeowners association just maintains the grass area and the landscaping around the trail on those outlots, all of them?
That'd probably be something to probably negotiate with Redo Homes.
Right. Because I'm just thinking, otherwise, if you think to come in there and have to cut that, well, then you're going to cut this strip up here, and then you're going to try to drive down, and then you're going to have to cut this strip here. I just see it problematic going forward. You know, where's the line and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if we could somehow get, I mean, this isn't that many feet. They want that, couldn't we negotiate that in to say, hey, how about if you just take care of all the landscaping then along the trail there? We'll still maintain the trail, but you guys take care of all the landscaping.
I could certainly bring it up as a discussion point. I don't know, Joel, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would think, obviously, the CSM is going to identify the location of the easement, conditions related to that easement. You know, we could certainly negotiate some other agreement beyond that from a maintenance point of view. I would think that it's going to be in the benefit of the homeowners association to maintain the grass and turf areas up through that easement. Now, if we elect to maintain snow control, that's to our benefit as well, because it's continuous through the Alden Circle development. So I think for this purpose, the CSM is identifying the location and the purpose of the easement. As far as maintenance of the elements of the easement, we can talk to Redo and Ryan to work that out through a separate instrument.
I'm just thinking it actually makes it easier, you know,
Right.
it would be my thought.
I think the hardest part will be Outlot 7, just because of the can't speak tonight, contiguous nature to the other outlot. We wouldn't necessarily have direct access
Right.
to Alden Circle from Outlot 7 to then kind of swing down to Outlot 6. So if push comes to shove, if we at least get some kind of access, it wouldn't necessarily be through a formal easement, but just some sort of access to get to Alden Circle to get our equipment down to the easement on, or to the Outlot 6 area that extends up to Alden Circle would be appropriate as well.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason looking at this, I'm like, it would just be easier if you just maintain the whole thing. It just, to me, would make more sense.
Yeah, ultimately, there'll be the footbridge that will extend between Outlot 7 and Ashwaubenon Park. So again, we could easily get access to Outlot 7 through the bridge. But then once you're across there, then you got to kind of swing around to get back over to 6. So, yeah. And I'll also note that we've been working with Ryan and Redo Homes as to the overall site plan for Lot 26. and how that impacts, how our project with the bridge impacts their project from the development standpoint, to make sure that everything is tying in seamlessly together so that it doesn't appear to be disjointed, if you will. So from a site planning standpoint, elevation grades, things of that nature, both of our engineers are working in concert with one another to make sure that that is a very seamless aesthetic.
Good.
Go for it. Aaron, the 12-foot easement for the irrigation, is that just strictly for irrigation, or is that a walking trail?
No, it's strictly just for the irrigation.
Just that alone?
Yep,
So that lawn will blend right in with Lot 26
correct.
then, and just, okay. You know, what Jay is saying, you know, if you want to maintain that lot, or that line, you know, are you going to go all the way along the riverbank?
Yeah, and that's kind of my issue. It's kind of like, yeah, you're gonna have to go the whole way then, so.
You know, if you're going to groom, and I'm only going to bring this up, I talked to Steve Burke quite a bit, if you're going to groom that grass and you know, make that look pretty, you're going to have problems with waterfowl coming up on shore, and that's something you don't want,
Right.
so.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Or I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
So you need a motion to approve the 3-lot CSM for parcel VA 1594, Alden Station House, Lot 5, which is that.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to recommend approval of the requested 3-lot certified survey map for parcel VA 1594, 469 Alden Circle, Outlot 5, with staff conditions. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
And I'll reach out to Redo Homes on that thought process, kind of figure out how we're going to maintain that and kind of coordinate that effort.
Right, right. I don't think it's a super big deal. It's just, I can see where that can be problematic going forward.
Aaron, is this coming up in front of the village board too?
No, Plan Commission has approval authority on certified survey maps.
Yep, okay, okay.
Okay, number 8, items for next agenda. Do you have anything out there, Aaron?
Likely.
Okay. So we'll be having a
Best
meeting
I
in
can do at this
December.
point.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to
There you
adjourn.
go.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are done. Thank you.
This conference